Morning all. This is M. Suresh, lecturer in Computer Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Masaptine. I am dealing with this OOPS through C++ subject with code 18CM402C. In the last class, we have already discussed about what is inheritance and what is the necessity of inheritance and what are the advantages of inheritance. Later, we discussed about what is the syntax for deriving a base class into derived class. After that, we have discussed three types of inheritance based on the types of visibility modes. Okay, so what is the syntax for inheritance? So in the last class, we have discussed what is inheritance. Inheritance is nothing but the process of deriving a new class from existing class. The process of deriving the properties from base class to the existing class. Whatever the class from which we are deriving, that class is base class. That class is called base class or super class or parent class. And the class that is derived is also called as derived class or child class or um, derived class, child class, and your subclass. Okay. So what is the syntax? So just keyword is class, and we have this base class. So after declaring this base class, in the base class we will have all the data variables and member functions, everything. So once we declare this base class, so if I want to declare this derived class, then class, and what is the name of the derived what is the name of the class? Derived class. And here you have to use the access specifier. The next one is your base class name. Okay, this is the syntax for deriving a class. So that whatever the properties, what are the properties of a base class? Either I can have data members or member functions. So whatever the data members and member functions that are there in the base class, those are coming into your derived class. And which values will be coming into this derived class will be depending upon the access specifier or visibility mode. If it is public derivation, we have already discussed. Okay, whatever the data members that are there in the public section, okay, will come into this public section. Whatever the data members that are there in the protected section, those will come into the protected section. Private variables are not accessible. And if it is a and one more type of derivation, private derivation. If it is a private derivation, in all the three type of cases, the like public derivation or private derivation or protected derivation, the data members that are there in the base class are not derived into the derived class. What are the data members? Private data members. Okay, private data members are not derived into the derived class in case of any type of derivation. But in case of public derivation, just public will come into public, protected will come into protected. In case of private derivation, both public and both public and protected variables in the base class will become private variables in the derived class. And if it is a protected section, then both public and protected members that are there in the base class will become protected variables in the derived class. These three concepts we have already discussed in the previous classes. So in the today's class, we will discuss one important concept called what is the different types of inheritance and explain them with examples. Okay. Well, in the previous class, we have discussed what are the different types of inheritance based on accessibility modes. Whether I can access these variables, whether I can access these variables. If I mention it as public, then what are the variables that will come? And if I mention private, what are the variables that will come? That we have already discussed in the previous class. But in the today's class, we will exclusively discuss what are the different types of inheritance based on the classes it will inherit. Okay, whether one class whether only one derived class is derived from a base class, or two or more classes are derived from the base class, or two or more one class is derived from two or more base classes. So based on this type of uh, uh, classes that are derived from, whether a single class is derived from single base class, or whether a class is derived from two or more base classes, whether two or more derived classes are derived from the same base class. So based on these concepts, I can define these different types of inheritance. And we will see in that total actually 6 types of inheritance is there. So in that we will see today, in the today's class, we will discuss only these 2 types of inheritances with example programs. In the next coming classes, we will discuss all the remaining types of inheritances with examples. But in the today's class, I will discuss what are the different types of inheritances and what is the syntax for this one, and example programs using single inheritance and multiple inheritance. So first I will go to the first what are the different types of inheritances and explain them with examples. So there are basically total 6 types of inheritances in C++. The classification of inheritance is based on how the properties of the base class are inherited by the derived classes. So actually what are the properties of the base class are inherited by the derived classes is nothing but that public derivation or private derivation or protected derivation. So in case of this types of inheritances, the type of derivation is mainly depending upon the whether class is derived from single base class or 2 or more base classes. That based on that one only we will derive the total, or we can categorize the total types of inheritance into 6 types. The first one is your single inheritance, second one is your multiple inheritance, the third one is your multi-level inheritance, fourth one is your hierarchical inheritance, fifth one is your hybrid inheritance, and the last one is your multi-path inheritance. Okay, total 6 types of inheritance is there. So all these type of inheritances are, I will explain by using a diagram and by using the syntax, and you can easily remember by using the name itself. Okay, single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, hybrid and multi-path. So first we will go to the first type of inheritance, that is your single inheritance. Okay, so in case of single inheritance, single, this is also called as simple inheritance. Okay, what is the another name for single inheritance is simple inheritance. Simple. Okay, so what is the another name for single inheritance is simple inheritance. So in case of single inheritance, a class is derived from only one base class. There is only one base class is there, and from this class only one derived class is derived. That is your single inheritance or simple inheritance. Single only. There is only one single derived class. There is only one single base class. In other words, when a subclass inherits only from one base class, it is known as single inheritance. Okay. So if I represent by using the diagrammatic manner, then we have only one single base class is there. From this single base class, I am deriving the only one class. Okay, this is your derived class. Okay, this is your derived class and this is your base class, and always this direction, arrow direction is from derived class to base class, like this. So what is the meaning of this one? This derived class is derived from this base class, or otherwise derived class is inheriting all the properties from the base class. So if there is only one derived class which is derived from one single base class, that is your single inheritance. Okay, so if I take an example like class base, okay, this is your base class. Okay, this is your base class. So this base class contains all the properties like data members and member functions inside the base class, and we have this class derived. This is your derived class, and if I want to use inheritance, I have to use single colon and I have to mention the access specifier, and this is your base class. There is only one derived class and there is only one base class. Then this type of inheritance is called a single inheritance or simple inheritance. Okay, there is only one base class and there is only one derived class. That is your single inheritance. Next, I will go to the next type of inheritance, that is your multiple inheritance. Multiple meaning is nothing but more than one. So by using the name itself, I can say, okay, that this type of inheritance happens when the child class or derived class inherits its properties from more than one base class. More than one base class. Okay, multiple base classes. Okay, so if a class is derived from multiple base classes or more than one base class, then that type of inheritance is called a multiple inheritance. In other words, the derived class inherits properties from the multiple base classes. Okay, that's it. Okay, so a class is derived from more than one base class, or the derived class inherits properties from multiple base classes, more than one base class or multiple base classes. That is your multiple inheritance. If I represent in the pictorial manner, here we have this base class B1. Okay, from this base class B1, or otherwise D is a class is there. This is your derived class D, which is derived from two base classes B1 and B2, then that is called, that type of inheritance is called multiple inheritance. Okay, because a class is derived from two base classes, or I can derive from one more base class. If I for example, if I take one more base class as B3, so this is your B3, then this class is derived from B3 also. Okay, so this D is a class which is derived from minimum two base classes. If it is derived from only one single base class, then that is your single inheritance. But it is derived from two or more base classes, that is your multiple inheritance. Minimum two will be there, and more than two also there. Okay, more than two, four. Okay, we can have any number of base classes. But if a class is derived from two or more base classes, then that type of inheritance is called multiple inheritance. Okay, so here in case of multiple inheritance, this is your class base, this is your class base. Okay, I am defining the first base one, and this is your base 2. Okay, so two classes are defined. So the first one is your class base 1, and after that class base 2. And if I am deriving a class from two or more base classes, so how I can indicate by using this comma. Okay, first how will you specify the inheritance? First you need this access specifier, and after that you, what is the name of the base class from which I am deriving. So I will define access specifier, after that I will define what is the name of the base class. So this is your base 1, and comma, and I am deriving not only from the single base class, I am deriving from two or more base classes. So what is the next class? I have to specify over here this comma. Okay, so I have to specify this comma, and one more access specifier. This is your base class 2. Okay, so I am defining a derived class. So the normal syntax for deriving a class is class derived and single colon access specifier and what is the name of the base class. But if I am here, I am not deriving from a single base class, I am deriving from two or more base classes. That's why access specifier base 1 comma access specifier base 2. If I want to derive from one more base class, that is base 3, then how can you specify comma? Here you will write access specifier same like this one and base, so base 3. Okay, like this. If I want to access how many number of base classes that I want to derive, those many number of base classes will be separated with this access specifier and name of the base class. So access specifier base 1 comma access specifier base 2 comma access specifier base 3 comma access specifier base 4, like this. Okay, this is your multiple inheritance. Okay, if I am deriving a class from two or more base classes, these two or more base classes are separated with commas, then this type of inheritance is called a multiple inheritance. So this is class B1, class B2, and class D, which is deriving from two base classes. This is your first base class and this is your second base class, and the first base class is derived publicly and the second base class is derived protectedly. What is the meaning of this one? This is the B1 is derived publicly, means whatever the data members that are there in the B1, both the public will come into the public section and protected will come into the protected section. And in case of B2, whatever the data members, that is public and protected data members, will become protected variables in the derived class. So here I am using two types of classes I am deriving. One is derived through publicly and another is derived through protectedly. This I can define. It is not like same, both should be same. One may be public, another may be public, one may be public, another may be protected, one may be public and another may be private. And like this, how many combinations will be there? Total public, so total 9 combinations will be there. Okay, so public, if I have public, then I can specify public, private, protected. If it is protected, then public, protected, private. So like this, I can have total 9 combinations. Okay, so this is your multiple inheritance. Deriving a class from two or more base classes is your multiple inheritance. And the next one is multi-level. So this is level by level. Okay, so all these type of inheritances are, you can just by the name itself you can easily define. Okay, multi-levels. This type of inheritance is the best way to represent the transitive nature of inheritance. In the previous class, what is the necessity of inheritance? In that I already discussed what is the transitive nature. Okay, what is transitive nature? If I have A from this A I am deriving B, and from this B I am deriving this C. What is the meaning of this one? Indirectly I can easily specify that this C is derived from this A. Okay, so indirectly I can specify that C is derived from this A. This is your transitive nature. Okay, if B is a class which is derived from A and C is a class that is derived from this B, indirectly I can say that C is derived from A. So this transitive nature is an example for this multi-level inheritance. Okay, this transitive nature is an example for this multi-level inheritance. I will explain with example with a pictorial representation. So this type of inheritance is the best way to represent the transitive nature of inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, a derived class inherits all its properties from a class that itself inherits from another class. Okay, so if I say in this example, so this is your class A. This is your class A, and B is a class that is derived from this A, and C is a class that is derived from this B. So this in the first level, this is your level 1, level 1. Okay, for example, if I take this as level 1 and this is your level 2, okay, L2. So in case of first level, B is derived from this A, and in case of second level, C is derived from this B, and in the third level I can define one more class D which is derived from this C. Okay, this is your level 3. So multiple levels will be there. So level by level. So B is derived in the first level, B is derived from A, and in the second level C is derived from this B, and in the third level D is derived from this C. In this way, if the type of derivation is defined level by level, then this type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. A class is, in simple way, a class is derived from another derived class. This B is also a derived class and C is also a derived class. So if any class is derived from another derived class, then that type of inheritance is called a multi-level inheritance. The derivation of a class from another derived class is called multi-level inheritance or multi-level derivation. Okay, multi-level inheritance. Okay, if I am deriving a class from another derived class, then that type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. A new class that is derived from the base class acts as a base class for another. Okay, so here I am C is a class that is newly derived from this B. Okay, and otherwise A is a class that is deriving this B, and B is acting as a parent for another class C. Okay, so that is your this one. Okay, in case of second derivation, the members inherited as protected or public from first inheritance can be visible from the second derived class. Okay, next one, this here if we want to represent by using this syntax way. So this is your first class base. Okay, and the second class derived, which is deriving from this base, that is this one. Okay, so how can you indicate the this by using class? What is the name of the derived class? And it is accessing, or it is deriving from this base class, and the second derived 2 which is derived from this derived 1. So that's why I have to use this one. So this is your derived class 2 access specifier, and what is the name of the base class? Derived 1. So this is this one. Okay, so you have to specify like this. Okay, so this is your derived class which is derived from this base class, and this is your another derived class which is derived from the derived class. So if a class is derived from another derived class, then that type of inheritance is called a multi-level inheritance. Okay, this is your class A and B which is derived from this A, and there is one more class C which is derived from this B. Okay, so this type of inheritance levels. Okay, then the type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. Okay, level by level will be there. Okay, this one. And the next type of inheritance is your hierarchical inheritance. So hierarchical. Okay, in case of hierarchical or hierarchical. Okay, so in case of hierarchical inheritance, so you have to remember this parent-child relationship. Okay, so What is the parent-child relationship? We will have this grandparents. So for this grandparents, I can have one or more parents. This parent may be male or female, but for example, I am considering parent 1 and parent 2 and parent 3. Okay. So from this grandparent, okay, we have this parent 1, parent 2 and parent 3. So if any two or more classes are derived from a single base class, then that type of inheritance is called hierarchical, and this way be happen sub also. Okay, for this parent 1 I can have sub child. See, this parent 1 can contain two childs. Okay, and this parent 2 contain only one child, that is your C3, and this parent 3 may contain three childs. Okay, for example. So this is your hierarchical inheritance. In case of hierarchical inheritance, two or more classes are derived from the base class, single base class. This is exactly opposite to multiple inheritance. In case of multiple inheritance, a class is derived from two or more base classes. But in case of hierarchical inheritance, two or more classes are derived from a single base class. So always whenever there is hierarchical inheritance, you have to remember your normal general hierarchy, in which we have this grandparents. From this grandparents we can have sub parents. Okay, these are the three parents, and from this parent 1 I can have two childs, parent 2 child 3, parent 3 I can have three childs, or parent 3 cannot have childs also. But this will be happen in a hierarchical manner. Okay, when multiple child classes inherits their properties from a single base class. If I have a grandparents, from those grandparents those properties will be inherited by the childs, right? But if multiple child classes inherits their properties from a single base class, then that is your hierarchical inheritance. But in case of multiple inheritance, here we have base 1, and here you have base 2, and here you have base 3. From these three base classes, okay, from these three base classes, I will derive only one child class or one derived class. Okay, if a class is derived from two or more base classes, then that is your multiple inheritance. But two or more child classes are derived from the single parent class or single base class, then that type of inheritance is called hierarchical inheritance. In case of hierarchical inheritance, then next level will be there. Okay, that is your another level, that's childs 2 will be derived. These are the two classes that are derived from a single parent. This is a single class that is derived from a parent. These are the three child classes derived from a single parent class. Okay, so this is your hierarchical inheritance, in which two or more classes are derived from a single base class. So animal is the base class from which dog, cat and cow can be derived, and the new class can be base for other new classes. So we'll erase this. So this I will explain with examples, pictorial representation, in which we will see the diagrammatical. So this is your class A. Okay, this is your parent from which I will derive. Always this arrow direction should be upwards, because this class B and C are the child classes of class A. So B and C are inheriting the properties from this class A. And in the next level, this class D, class E are derived from this classes. Okay, class B. Okay, two child classes are derived from a single base class. And here also from class C also I am deriving two. This is your grandparent, and from this parent we have parent 1 and parent 2, and this parent 1 contain two children, and parent 2 also contain two children. So that is in generic way. So but in case of hierarchical inheritance, if I take this as employee is the parent. Okay, employee is the base class from which three sub childs or subclasses are derived. Manager is the subclass, secretary is the another subclass, and teacher is the subclass. So two or more classes are derived from a single base class. And again from this manager also again I can derive into sub categories. For manager, can also be contained two child classes, that is your assistant manager. We can have this assistant manager, or we can have this deputy manager. Okay, this is your thing. And in case of secretary also, I can have different subjects, that is additional secretary and joint secretary. Okay, joint secretary. And in case of teacher also, I can have subjects like he may be maths teacher, or he can be physics teacher, he may be chemistry teacher, or he can be male teacher, he can be female teacher. Okay, this is the hierarchical manner. Okay, so if two or more classes are derived from a single base class, and this may continue also further level. Okay, this is your hierarchical inheritance. So if employee is there, from this employee, manager class is derived also derived from this employee, secretary class also derived from this employee, and teacher class also derived from this employee. Then if two or more child classes, okay, this manager class also derived from this employee only, secretary class also derived from this employee only, and teacher class also derived from this employee only. If two or more child classes are derived from a single base class, then that type of inheritance is called a hierarchical inheritance. This is your base. Derived one also derived from this base only, and derived two also derived from this base only, and derived any number of classes derived from a single base class. Then that type of inheritance is called a hierarchical inheritance. Okay. So next type of inheritance is your hybrid inheritance. Hybrid. Okay. So the general in the general terms also, what is meaning by hybrid? Hybrid plants, it is a combination of two or more plants, right? So in the same manner, in this type of inheritance, okay, it essentially combines more than two forms of inheritance. If more than two forms of inheritance are there present in a single inheritance, or if that type of inheritance is called hybrid inheritance. I think you got it right. So because it is a combination of two or more type of inheritances. Within the inheritance, whenever I am using this inheritance concept, if I am using more than one type of inheritance or more than two types of inheritances, then that type of inheritance is called a hybrid inheritance. So if I take, for example, if I take this one, so always the direction should be upwards. So if I take this one, so this is your class D, which is derived from three base classes. If a class is derived from two or more base classes, what type of inheritance is this one? This is multiple inheritance. Okay. So if say single class D is derived from three base classes. So if a class is derived from two or more base classes, then that is your multiple inheritance. And here class E, class F, class G, these are the subsets or derived classes. If two or more classes are derived from a single base class, then what type of inheritance is this one? This is your hierarchical inheritance. This is your hierarchical inheritance. And this class D is derived from this class A, and this class E is derived from this class D. So this is level by level, right? So E is derived from D, D is derived from A. So what type of this one inheritance is this one? This is your multi-level inheritance. Okay. So this in this type of inheritance, it uses three different types of inheritances. This is your multiple inheritance, this is your hierarchical inheritance, then this is your multi-level inheritance, and a single class is derived from another class. Single inheritance also there. This is your single inheritance. So this inheritance is a combination of more than one type of inheritance. That is, single inheritance is there, multiple inheritance is there, hierarchical inheritance is there, and multi-level inheritance is there. So it is a combination of four types of inheritance. So that's why it is an example for hybrid inheritance. If any type of inheritance is a combination of two or more types of inheritances, then that is your hybrid inheritance. So this is your, if I want to explain with the so whenever you represent using diagrammatically, then it is easy to write this syntax. Okay, easy to write this syntax. So if I take this one, person, student, and result. Okay, so what is this one? the student is a class which is derived from only one base class person, then this type of inheritance is your single inheritance. This is your single inheritance. And student is derived from this person and result is derived from this student. This is level by level, right? So this person, student, result, all these are what type of inheritance? Multi-level inheritance. And this result is a class derived from both student class and exam class. So this result is a class derived from two or more types of inheritances. Two or more, not two or more types. This result is a class derived from two or more base classes. Then this type of inheritance is what? What type of inheritance is this one? This is your multiple inheritance. Okay. So because I am deriving from multiple base classes, right? So this is a combination of single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and multiple inheritance. So this one is an example for hybrid inheritance. So you can easily write for the first one is class person. Okay. This is your class person, and student is a class that is derived from this person. So student is derived from this person, and there is one more class called exam. So exam is not deriving from anything, so we will write separately class exam. And this result is a class that is derived from this student and exam. So that's why both should be separated with commas. So result is a class that is derived from student comma exam. So easily you can write using syntax. So that's it. This is your hybrid inheritance. If any type of inheritance is a so the same thing what I discussed that you mentioned over here, student class is derived from person, it's by using single inheritance, and the result class is a result is a class that is derived from two base classes. Okay, that is your student and exam. And this person, student is derived from this person, and result is also derived from this student. So that is your multi-level. So it is a combination of three types of inheritances. That's why it is hybrid inheritance. And the last type of inheritance is your multi-path inheritance. Okay, multi-path, multiple paths are there. Okay, so all these type of inheritances are just by name itself you can easily remember. Single inheritance means only one base class, only one base class, one derived class will be there. Multiple inheritance means a class is derived from two or more base classes. And the next one, multi-level means level. So first one class is derived from base class, and second derived class is derived from the first derived class. That is your multi-level. Hierarchical means two or more child classes are derived from a single base class. That is your hierarchical inheritance. And these subchilds can have further subchilds. That is your hierarchical. Hybrid is nothing but it is a combination of two or more than two types of inheritances is your hybrid inheritance. And the last one is multi-path. Multiple paths will be there. Okay. This is easily explained by using the diagrammatical way. That is, this is also a combination of three types of inheritances. So this is a class is derived from two or more base classes. So a class is derived from two or more base classes which are derived from the same base class. Okay, a class is derived from two or more base classes. So how can you define? Just B comma C. Okay, if a class is derived from two or more base classes which are derived from the same base class, that is your multi-path inheritance. Okay, so here we have a problem called diamond problem. So that's why I will represent by using this diamond shape. This will form a diamond shape. This problem is also called as ambiguity problem. I will discuss this diamond problem or ambiguity problem in the coming classes when I am discussing virtual base class. So before this one, you just keep in mind that there is a problem within this multipath inheritance. To rectify that, I have to make this common base class as virtual. That we will discuss in the next class. But this type of inheritance is called multipath inheritance. Just if you know the diagram, then you can easily define. This is a class is derived from two or more base classes which are derived from a same base class. Okay. So a class, a derivation of a class from other derived classes which are derived from the same base class. In this type of inheritance, it contains three types of inheritances. Okay, 1 minute. So what are the different types of inheritances? So here D is derived from B and C. So a class is derived from two or more base classes. That is what type of inheritance? Multiple inheritance. And B and C are the child classes that are derived from a single base class. Then what is this type of inheritance? This is your hierarchical inheritance. and B is derived from A and D is derived from this B. So what is this one? This is, wow, what is the combination of this one? This is your multi-level inheritance. So it has, so I can say multi-path inheritance is a combination of multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and multi-level inheritance. If more than one type of inheritance is there, then that is your hybrid inheritance. So multi-path inheritance is also one of the category of hybrid inheritance only. Actually, if I say hybrid inheritance, I can say all these different types of inheritances other than single inheritance comes under this hybrid inheritance only. But you have to use more than one form of inheritance within the inheritance. Okay. So this is in a simple way multipath inheritance, deriving a class from two or more base classes which are derived from the single base class. That is your multipath inheritance. Or multipath inheritance is a combination of hierarchical inheritance. It is a combination of multiple inheritance and multi-level inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. It contains a famous problem known as diamond problem or ambiguity problem. We will discuss later. So here class D is derived from the derived classes B and C, which are derived from a class A. Okay. So here what is that problem I will discuss in the next class, but just in brief, if I say whatever the data members that are there in the A, that will come into B, and whatever the data members that are there in A, that will be coming into C. And as D is deriving from this B and C, data members from A will be derived into this D via B, and I will erase all. So what is this diamond problem? I will discuss in brief. So that is, so whatever the data members that are there in the both public section and protected will come into this B and A, C also. And as D is deriving from this B, so this from class A, whatever the data members are there, those will be coming into D from B also and from C also, two times. So whenever I am calling the data member, it cannot decide whether it has to call this B or whether it has to call this data members of class A via B or data members of a class A via C. So it cannot decide. That is your ambiguity problem. We will discuss later, okay, in detail. Okay. So that is your different types of inheritances. So total we discussed 6 types of inheritances. Now in the today's class, I will discuss this single inheritance and multiple inheritance with example programs. So for this one, I will open this Turbo C. So this is your, will explain, this is your single inheritance. Okay. So I will show with example single inheritance. So this is your hash include iostream.h, conio.h, and this is your shape class. Okay. This is your shape class. So in the shape class, I have in the protected variables, I have two protected variables, that is width and height, which is used to find out the area or anything. So in the public section, I have a set width method, which is used to set the width to W, and set height is also there, which is used to set the height. This you can use a constructor also. I can directly take the shape constructor with this int w comma int h. Okay, you can write like this also. Okay, so how can I write? I can take a shape constructor. Okay, like this. I can take shape constructor. Within the shape constructor, I can take this int w comma int h. So inside this shape, I can directly write width equal to, so whatever the logic that is there, width equal to W I can write, and height equal to H also I can write. Okay, you can write like this also. Okay, so just by using this in constructor also I can write, but I am using here this is your set width and set height, which is used to set those width and height values. And after that, this you have to understand what is this one. Rectangle is a sub class. Okay, rectangle is a class that is deriving from this shape class. So rectangle is a class that is deriving from this shape class. So how I can mention rectangle is this is a single class that is derived from a single base class. That is your single inheritance. So here rectangle is a class that is derived from this your shape class, that is derived by using this publicly. So you mention over here this public type of derivation. So what is the meaning of this public derivation? Whatever the data members that are there in the, okay, so when I mention it as public, then whatever the data members that are there in the public section, so those public will come into this public section. Whatever the data members that are there in the protected section, those will come into protected section over here. Or whatever the data members of public will become public members in the derived class. Whatever the data members are protected will become protected members in the derived class. And private variables cannot be inherited. So this is your rectangle class and shape. And in the rectangle class, what you are doing over here, in the rectangle class, you are just calculating the width. Get area is a method that is there, which is used to return this width and height. Why width and height are not yet data members to this rectangle class, right? But as I am inheriting this shape class, automatically this width and height will come into over here, so that I can easily reuse. So now I am creating the rectangular object, so that I am calling set width. But set width and set height are the data members of which class? Shape class. But as I am using this inheritance concept, this set width and set height will come over here. Okay, this set width will come over in the public section over here, and set height also will come over here, public section, so that I can directly, as both these functions are coming over here, then I can easily use this rectangle class object. Okay, I am creating this rectangle class object, and I am calling this set width and set height. So what is this one? I am calling this set width and set height, and I am calculating the total area, get area. So I will execute this through F7. So rectangle object is created. Whenever I am calling this set width method, but as set width is defined inside the shape class also, as those two will be coming into the rectangular class can call this method. So a set width, so it will go to the shape class width, it will call, and width will be, and set height. No need to define those set width and set height in the derived class also. I can reuse those data members of base class in the derived class. I can reuse the properties of base class in the derived class. That is the use of this inheritance. So see out, I am calculating the area. So just it will set the width to 57, and it will calculate the area. 7 into 5 is 35. That's it. Okay. So this is your single inheritance example. And now I will see the multiple inheritance. This is your multiple inheritance. So this is your area. Okay. This is an example for this multiple inheritance. So this is your class. Area is the class. Okay. So area is a class which has one public method which is used to calculate the area. Okay. Which is used to return this area. So there is a class called area which is used to, which has only one method or one function which is used to get the area. And I have one more class called perimeter. Inside this one also we have, in the public section we have one method, one function called get perimeter. Okay, which is used to calculate the perimeter. So what is the formula for area of a rectangle? So actually these two are the formulas for calculating the area of a rectangle. So in the class area we have a member function called get area which is used to find out the area of a rectangle. So what is the formula? Length into breadth. And in the perimeter class we have a get perimeter function which is used to find out the perimeter of a rectangle. So 2 into length plus breadth. Now I am creating a class rectangle which is derived from this both area and perimeter publicly. So if I want to represent this in diagrammatical manner, there is a area. One is area is the base class, and another base class is there, that is your perimeter. Okay, is your perimeter. Perimeter is another base class. So from this area class and from this perimeter class, I am deriving a new class called rectangle. You can easily specify this rectangle is a class which is derived from this both area and perimeter. If a class is derived from two or more base classes, then that type of inheritance is called your multiple inheritance. So this rectangle is a class which is derived from these two base classes, area class and perimeter class. So how can I specify? Just comma. So this is your area and this is your perimeter. So you will differentiate by using this comma, and I am deriving publicly. What is the meaning of this one? Whatever the data members that are there in the public section will come into this public, and this perimeter also public. So that is whatever the data members that are there in the public, those will come into the rectangle class, or I can say whatever the public data members and public will come into public section, protected will come into protected section. So here also, if we don't have any protected, so public will come into the public data members in the rectangle, and public members of the perimeter will become public data members in the rectangle class, so that I can easily reuse. Okay. Now I will go to this one. So I am deriving, and I am having this length and breadth two values. So I am taking length and breadth. I am defining two data members in the private section, and in the rectangle is the what is this one? This is a constructor. So within this constructor, I am defining this constructor which is entering both length and breadth values, and it is taking those values, and after that it is calculating the area. So by using this area method, it is used to find out the area of this rectangle, and whenever I am using this area, I am calling which class method within the area. I have this get area, right? I am calling this method. So get area of a, which is a member function to this area class. So how can I can specify is what is the name of the class, scope resolution operator, what is the name of the method. So whenever I am using this int parameter method, I am using which class data member function, that is your perimeter class. I am deriving this perimeter, and I am calling this get perimeter method. Okay. So directly I can use get area, and I will see that one also. So this is your rectangle class. Publicly I am deriving, and I am entering those values by using the constructor. Whenever I am creating the object for this rectangle, automatically this constructor will called, and it will take the values. And after that, whenever I am calling this area method, it internally calls the get area method of the area class. And whenever I am calling this perimeter method, it internally calls the perimeter method of this get parameter method of this perimeter class. So now I can easily create the object for this rectangle class. Just I can create the object for this rectangle class, so that internally it will take the constructor and it will take those values. And after that, it will calculate the area and perimeter. That's it. Okay. I will execute F7. I will press F7. And after that, it will whenever it calls this rectangle object, whenever it creates this rectangle object, internally it calls this rectangle constructor. It will take those values, length and breadth values. So I will take 12, and I will take 3. Okay. So now whenever I call this area method, internally get area will be called, so that area, within the area we have get area function. So it will return this length into breadth. And after that, whenever perimeter is there, internally calls the perimeter method, so that it will calculate the perimeter value. That's it, and it will display those values. So what is the length and what is the area? 12 into 30, 12 into 3, that is 36, and 2 into L plus B, so that is 12 plus 3 is 15. So 15 into 2 is 30. So I will see once this one. So this is your, without using this perimeter, I will see once. So this is get area method that is there in the class. I will save this program. So now I will execute. I will run this program. Okay. So I will run this program. So enter length and breadth values 12, 4. So that is 12 into 4 is your 48, and 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 into 2 is 32. So you can call. Okay. So whenever I am calling this get area, I can easily use that get area method, because this get area is the public data member, so that will come into this public section, and Get parameter is also public data member, so that will come into the public section. So you can use these public data members inside the class or outside the class, anywhere. Okay, so just this is an example for multiple inheritance in which a class is derived from two or more base classes. Okay, so with this I am concluding the today's class. So in the coming classes I can discuss the remaining type of inheritances with examples. Okay, so in the today's class, what I have discussed, what are the different types of inheritances? Total 6 type of inheritances are there: single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, hybrid, and multipath. By the name itself, I can easily say single means single only one base class. Multiple means two or more base classes. Multi-level means level by level. Hierarchical means if two or more classes are derived from a single base class, that is your hierarchical. Hybrid is a combination of two or more than two type of inheritance. Multipath is nothing but it is a combination of hybrid. It is a combination of hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and multiple inheritance. With this, I am concluding the today's class. In the tomorrow's class, we will see the remaining inheritances with example programs. Hope you understand today's class. Thank you. Thank you all.